Area 2 seconds, everywhere don burst. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, fellow obedient family, e don finally happen. Dem don finally blow whistle. E don set. And this one now dey happen live and direct this afternoon. See guys, whenever you come across this particular video, if you know that you are from Nigeria, don't skip any part of this video and also share the video so that you can save life. This is an important update. The way I dey talk to una now, I dey border between Ghana and Nigeria, because after this video, I will just put my leg for the right side. I don enter. See guys, if you are not yet see this particular video, just watch the video and I'll be right back.
More pictures of armored personnel carriers that arrive Nigeria through Onne Port in Rivers State. If you're familiar with these armored personnel carriers, you can tell us in the comments the likely country of origin of these APCs. The paintwork shows it's headed to the Sahel region, which means it's not meant to be used in Nigeria. Anyway, it looks like France is trying to replicate the same military strategy they used in Ivory Coast in 2011. They used rebels as ground forces to capture Laurent Gbagbo, the former president of Ivory Coast. We will come back to this in a moment. Let's look at the latest opposition against military intervention in Niger. Russia has warned ECOWAS that any military intervention in Niger may lead to a protracted confrontation. The Russia's foreign ministry said that a military intervention in Niger will destabilize the entire Sahel region. Whether you like Russia or not, this is the whole truth. Even a broken clock is right twice a day. ECOWAS are also hitting back at Russia. They said that they will hold Russia responsible if the Wagner group gets involved in Niger Republic. According to the ECOWAS Commissioner for Political Affairs, Peace and Security, Ambassador Abou Fattah Musa, the Wagner group apparently is in Mali today. The Malian government says this is an agreement between them and the Russian Federation, that ECOWAS will take them by their word, which means any sort of action that infringes on human rights or devastation in our region by these private military contractors, we are going to hold the other countries of our region responsible for that. All this finger pointing by the ECOWAS commissioner, why not avoid any military intervention in the first place? That will definitely bring peace to the region, and there will be no need for any private military organization to intervene or even other countries. Remember that Burkina Faso and Mali already said they will help the Nigerian military to defend their country if ever they are invaded by anyone, that they will consider an invasion of Niger as an invasion of their own countries. So effectively, any military intervention in Niger, the invading forces will be fighting against 3 countries. Also, consider the fact that Burkina and to some extent Mali are already Russian allies, so they can effectively draw Russia into the war, and of course Putin will be willing to help despite being bogged down in Ukraine. They might not send troops, but will definitely send heavy equipment, which will ultimately make it a protracted conflict, because when you have 2 equally armed opponents, to make a headway will be very difficult. So in the interest of peace and stability in the region, ECOWAS should drop the idea of any military intervention, because there is cause and effect. If someone is planning to invade a country, they won't sit around and wait to welcome the person with open arms when they invade. They will definitely defend themselves. They will seek help in doing that, so the outcome is largely unpredictable considering all the factors. This is why the scenario in Niger is quite different from Ivory Coast. Any intervention in Niger will draw in more people, unlike the Ivory Coast, where the rebels were already controlling some cities in northern Ivory Coast before they eventually moved down to Abidjan. So what they are planning in Niger might not be as simple as they think. As the day goes by, the pressure on France to leave Niger increases. Nigerians this time around protested at the French military base in Niamey. They are not only protesting that the French military personnel should leave Niger, they are also protesting against any military intervention by ECOWAS. Algeria is another country that is vehemently opposed to any military intervention in Niger. Would you blame them? They experienced what happened in Libya, which of course was led by France and eventual involvement of NATO. Also in Mali, down their southern border, they've all had serious security issues for several years. So Algeria will not stand by and watch Niger be invaded, because war is very unpredictable. Forget about all the buzzwords, military intervention or declaration of war. All of them have the potential to veer off course, and at that point it becomes unpredictable. No one wants instability and uncertainty around his country, because it can quickly escalate and overflow into your country. Even the warmongering by Tinubu and ECOWAS is to some extent creating uncertainty in Nigeria. That's why people here in Kano are showing their displeasure that they don't want war in Niger Republic. If you're an investor, whether a local or foreign investor, will you invest in times of uncertainty? You will definitely hold on and study the situation first before making any investment. No one wants to gamble with his money. Even if you want to open a small business or rent a stall somewhere around the city, and all of a sudden riots break out, that alone will stop you from going on with the investment. So uncertainty is bad for business. With the likelihood of Nigeria going into recession very soon, what the government should be doing is not to make it come sooner. Instead, they are supposed to create a peaceful environment in order to attract investment, both local and foreign. There's also a rumor that Algeria is planning to supply electricity to Niger. Nigeria supplies about 70% of Niger's electricity, which they've cut off since the announcement of sanctions against Niger. It doesn't look like Algeria can supply the electricity anytime soon, because there's no existing grid between Algeria and Niger. The power lines will take some time to be built between these countries, so it won't be an immediate solution to Niger's power supply problems. Meanwhile, the Chinese contractor handling the Kadanji Dam project in Niger have suspended work because of the freezing of their funds. Since the military seized power, many countries sanctioned Niger. So as a result of these economic sanctions, the Chinese contractor cannot transfer funds to Niger. The $800 million dam with a power generating capacity of 130 megawatts was initially set to be completed in 2026. The suspension of work will definitely affect the completion date, except the Nigerian government finds alternative funding or another way to move the funds without involving the banking system. Otherwise, there's no hope that work will restart there very soon, because sanctions will not be lifted while the military is still in power. Also, the completion of the crude oil pipeline from Niger to Cotonou in Benin Republic, which was initially set to be completed at the end of this year, may no longer be feasible because the Chinese contractor handling the project must heed the advice of the Chinese government to their citizens in Niger to evacuate with immediate effect. No one wants to be caught up in a war. The threat of an invasion by ECOWAS is still very much on the table. What is going on in Niger right now can be likened to what happened in Ivory Coast in 2011. Yes, when the rebels backed by France were a few kilometers into Abidjan, many people started taking evacuation seriously. More foreigners live in Ivory Coast compared to Niger, and by the time the rebels invaded Abidjan, most foreigners have either evacuated or taken refuge inside the French military base in Abidjan. The quest to capture Laurent Gbagbo was over in a few days after French combat helicopters bombarded their main military base a few kilometers from the presidential palace. The capture of Laurent Gbagbo effectively brought Alassane Ouattara to power, having won the contested presidential election the previous year. So this is what France might be planning to repeat in Niger. The only problem now is that they need foot soldiers, like the rebels they used in Ivory Coast to capture Gbagbo.
Thank you for watching that video. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, if this is your first time on this great platform, please look at the top here. You will see where they wrote follow. Just follow the page and also put on the notification bell so that whenever we upload any video in this great platform, you'll be the first to see it. And don't forget to drop your comment at the comment section. drop your comment, because that your comment dey important to this great platform, so that we go know wetin you think about this video, your reaction, your opinion, whether e dey okay with the video or e no dey okay, or e get anything wey you wan contribute say make we change for this platform, anything at all. You fit drop your comment so that we go fit reply you. Or if you get anything wey you wan advertise, like you wan carry your things come here, or you want make we carry your product come this place, come showcase, come show your product, so that people go patronize you, so that people go support you. You can also write us on our message, just write us there, because we dey do advert for this platform as well, so not the way we no dey do. So if you get anything wey dey important, wey be like say you want make we help you carry come here, just send the message, give us for our messenger, and we go reply you. And try make you share this video, just dey share the video, so that everybody out there will also see this video, so that they'll see know wetin we dey do for here, say this kind of things dey exist for this great platform. And this is where I will also end the video. So if you have anything to tell us, just drop the message and we will get back to you as soon as possible. My country people, get the way pikin dey big reach, dey big pass the parents. So na as e finish na make good money turn to alpha.